is whether it is for teachers or parents who buy the bilingual books. So some consideration need to be done about the quality of bilingual books around us. Okay, next. Okay. As I said before, there are two perspectives regarding the bilingual children, or when children become bilingual or multilingual. Some experts say that it is good for children, but some others say that it is not good. But if we see at the positive side, that children or adults who have bilingual abilities have one or more experience in the world, because each language operates with different system of behavior. Because by studying or by learning two different language, we also learn about many things about that language, whether it is literature, whether it is music, whether it is stories, ideas, belief, way of thinking, and so on. And then actually there are related, if we take a look at the bilingual book, of course we will narrate it to our children by using storytelling, in which when the bilingual book is not good in the translation, as I show you previously, that some source language in Indonesia is not good if it is transferred into English. Some of them bad in grammar, some of them bad in diction or choice of word, and some of them not translated. So there are some parts which is still in Bahasa Indonesia. So it will give bad impact, whether it is for parents who will transfer it to the children, or whether to the children itself. Okay, next. Now, related to the vocabulary that was delivered from a storytelling from a bilingual book, we know that a story vocabulary in the process of learning is very important, because it takes important part in children's brain, because by learning vocabulary, it will give effect to the abilities of children in other areas, such as in ability of speaking, writing, and reading. That's why I think that the quality of bilingual books should be considered well, so that it will give good impact, or give good effect to the one who reads that bilingual book, whether it is for teacher, whether it is for parents, whether it is for children itself. Okay. Actually, there are some previous research that told us about some findings. Maybe for the I will continue that related to the previous studies about the translation of bilingual book. Actually, I quoted to previous research. The first one is research by Rahmadani in 2021, in which she conducted a research related to human translation and Google Translate translation in the bilingual books. Besides, I also quoted Rahmawati in 2016, which conduct a research entitled Translation Errors in Bilingual Books of Indonesian Folklore. Now, from these two research, we found that the findings show that linguistics error mostly occurs in the grammar, which leads to other type in linguistic errors. And the result of the analysis indicated that the translation error found because of the translation ignorance and lack of comprehension of English. From these findings, we can relate it to my findings, which also we found some errors in the translation of bilingual books which found around us. Okay, next, for the last slide. For the conclusion, I want to say that basically introducing foreign language to children from an early age is a good thing and brings quite a lot of benefit to children. However, both teacher and parents need to pay attention when using bilingual books as a medium for teaching foreign language. The selection of right and quality books needs to be considered. The finding in this short paper can also be input for publisher to pay more attention to the quality in the translation process. In addition, maybe for the government or for the Ministry of Education could also provide assistance so that bilingual books are produced in a good quality. I think that's for my presentation. Thank you very much for the moderators for the time.
Ada link absensinya ini.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, all right. The presenters, because the moderator Ibu Nur Fahmi was signing out because of the low connection. Her connection is unstable. That's why I take over the moderator duty to guide the presentation. All right, now I'm inviting Ibu Bunga Safira with the article title Improving Skills Through the Application of Learning Media Using Pauton Application. All right, Bunga Safira, Ibu Bunga Safira, I'm inviting you to prepare your presentation. I'm inviting you to deliver your presentation in maximum 8 minutes. All right, Ibu Bunga Safira, 8 minutes from now on. Okay, please.
Okay, thank you. I started. I want to confirm to the moderator that I will present the article in Bahasa Indonesia, and I will present it with my friend Nahda Almas Ainia.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Apakah presentasinya dari saya atau share screen dari sana?
Share screen-nya. Wait. Tunggu. Ibu Satriani. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, already on the screen. Please begin your presentation, Bunga Safira. Okay, please.
Oke, thank you. Selamat siang. Di sini saya Bunga Syafira, mahasiswi dari Universitas Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa dari Banten. Di siang hari ini saya bersama teman saya, Nahda Almas Ainiyah, akan mempresentasikan artikel kami yang berjudul Meningkatkan Keterampilan Melalui Penerapan Media Pembelajaran Menggunakan Aplikasi Powtoon. Boleh slide selanjutnya? Ya, materi pertama yang akan saya jelaskan di sini ada abstrak atau gambaran umum pada artikel yang kami tulis. Keterampilan pada era modern ini sangat dibutuhkan. Meningkatkan keterampilan menjadi salah satu hal yang sangat penting untuk menunjang kebutuhan kita sehari-hari ataupun dalam bekerja seperti halnya dalam ruang lingkup pendidikan. Keterampilan bisa menjadi faktor penting dalam kegiatan belajar mengajar. Menggunakan media ajar yang kreatif akan menumbuhkan dan meningkatkan semangat belajar bagi peserta didik. Media pembelajaran merupakan salah satu jenis alat bantu belajar yang dapat digunakan untuk mempermudah proses pembelajaran. Tujuan dari penulisan artikel ini adalah penulis ingin memberikan informasi bahwa aplikasi Powtoon dapat menjadi salah satu cara agar membuat media pembelajaran lebih menarik dan kreatif. Ya, selanjutnya, selanjutnya di sini ada pendahuluan. Di era digital ini semakin bergantungnya dunia pendidikan kepada teknologi dalam pembelajaran. Maka pendidik perlu mengasah keterampilannya dalam memanfaatkan teknologi untuk menjadi bahan alat media saat ini dalam pembelajaran di kelas. Nah, metode pembelajaran yang sering dipakai yaitu technological, pedagogical, dan content knowledge atau TIPHAK. Merupakan konsep di mana guru diharapkan mampu menyampaikan konten pembelajaran dengan kompetensi pedagogik dan juga melibatkan bantuan teknologi agar menjadi efektif dan efisien. Salah satu aplikasi video pembelajaran yang belum lama ini dikenal dalam dunia pendidikan dan sering digunakan sebagai media pembelajaran dengan menggunakan metode AVA adalah penggunaan animasi Powtoon. Selanjutnya. Ya, selanjutnya di sini ada metode. Penulis menggunakan metode penelitian deskripsi kualitatif. Data kualitatif dalam tulisan ini diperoleh dari berbagai sumber yang terpercaya dan berkesinambungan dengan tulisan kali ini. Data tersebut dapat diperoleh dari buku, jurnal, dan website yang dapat dipertanggungjawabkan kebenarannya. Kemudian materi selanjutnya akan dijelaskan oleh teman saya kepada Nahda, dipersilakan.
Oke, thank you. Yang pertama, di sini ada pembahasan, yaitu ada pentingnya meningkatkan keterampilan. Di sini menurut Wagner, tahun 2010, dan Change Leadership di Harvard University, mengidentifikasikan keterampilan bertahan hidup yang dibutuhkan untuk siswa menghadapi kehidupan dunia. Di sini ada 7 keterampilan. Yang pertama itu adanya kemampuan berpikir kritis dan pemecahan masalah. Yang kedua ada kolaborasi dan kepemimpinan. Yang ketiga ada kelincahan dan kemampuan. Yang keempat ada inisiatif dan kewirausahaan. Yang kelima ada mampu berkomunikasi secara efektif lisan dan tulisan. Yang keenam mampu mengakses dan menganalisis informasi. Yang terakhir mampu menunjukkan rasa ingin tahu dan imajinasi. Keterampilan akademik dan kognitif ini memang merupakan keterampilan yang penting ya bagi siswa, di mana bukan satu-satunya keterampilan yang dibutuhkan siswa untuk berhasil. Siswa juga mampu terampil kognitif dasar individu itu yang berkualitas dan memiliki identitas. Yang kedua ada memanfaatkan penggunaan media pembelajaran kreatif atau pada aplikasi Powtoon. Media ini merupakan alat yang digunakan untuk menyalurkan pesan atau informasi komunikator. Slide sebelumnya, maaf. Oke, lanjut aja ya. Lanjut aja nggak apa-apa. Nah, di sini ada gambar pertama itu ada home Pauton, di mana di home ini terdapat merupakan aplikasi web online yang digunakan untuk menampilkan presentasi dalam fitur animasi yang menarik. Di antaranya ada kartun, tulisan tangan, efek transisi, yang pada aplikasi ini membuat slide dan bentuk atau efek dan dapat menambahkan gambar, karakter, animasi, properti, penanda, bentuk, transisi, latar belakang, dan banyak fitur lainnya. Saat ini jika pendidik harus memanfaatkan lingkungan sebagai sumber belajar, akan banyak hal yang menjadi kendala selama proses pembelajaran, sepertinya keterbatasan waktu. Nah, di sini yang gambar kedua ada tampilan template pada aplikasi Pauton. Ya, yang gambar ketiga itu adalah hasil presentasinya. Kebetulan di sini hasil presentasi yang saya pribadi buat waktu video pembelajaran pada aplikasi ini nggak jauh berbeda dengan media PowerPoint untuk mempresentasikan suatu bahan ajar. Pada aplikasi Pauton ini lebih menarik karena banyak pilihan animasi, pilihan grafiknya, template-nya. Masyarakat sekarang masih menganggap bahwa media pembelajaran Pauton ini sangat asing, karena aplikasi web ini cukup baru di kalangan masyarakat dan pendidik, dibanding dengan aplikasi video yang sudah terkenal jauh-jauh hari dibandingkan dengan aplikasi Pauton ini. Pada penerapan Pauton ini nggak jauh berbeda dengan PowerPoint, karena pada aplikasi ini lebih mudah dan lebih bisa bikin menarik peserta didik atau siswanya. Ini ada problematika penggunaan media Pauton. Perkembangan teknologi yang pesat dan semakin bergantung saat ini tuh sangat cepat, dan pendidikan itu bergantung juga ya dengan teknologi terhadap dalam memperlancar pembelajaran. Menuntut guru atau fasilitator ini untuk mengurangi pembelajaran yang monoton atau konvensional dan menggantikannya dengan penggunaan media pembelajaran yang interaktif. Salah satunya ini menggunakan aplikasi Pauton dan dapat mempermudah penyampaian materi pembelajaran, terutama pada materi yang abstrak hingga menghindari kesalahan atau validalisme. Media pembelajaran ini diyakini membuat pembelajaran menjadi efektif adalah aplikasi Pauton ini. Aplikasi ini sudah teruji layak untuk dijadikan media pembelajaran pada mata pelajaran eksak ataupun sosial. Beberapa penelitian juga menguraikan pemanfaatan dan pengaplikasian pada video Pauton. Mungkin problematikanya ini terdapat di penggunaan internet, karena aplikasi Pauton ini menggunakan internet dan harus menggunakan jaringan yang bagus dan sarana prasarana yang bagus juga dengan adanya komputer atau laptop yang digunakan. Dan juga pada aplikasi ini guru ataupun pendidik ini harus terampil dan mahir dalam menggunakan atau mengoperasikan perangkat teknologi seperti komputer dan laptop dan internet juga. Okay, that's all our explanation, and thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the presenters, and thank you for Pak Nasrum who have handled the moderator before. Okay, next. Bunga Safira and her friends has explained about improving skill through the application of learning media using paid application. And the next presenters, I would like to invite, for the participant who want to ask, please raise your question at the chat box, and also you can raise hand at the last of the presentation. Next, I would like to invite Khalilah Widya, under the title Utilization of Technology as a Creative Learning and Innovative in the Millennial Generation in the New Trends Era, a Literature Study. please present yours. Kholilah Widya is in the room chat. Sorry, okay.
Thank you so
Times
much.
provided you. And for the participant, we have a list of attendance. Please fill the attendance links at the room chat. Okay, please, Widya, Kholilah Widya. Times provided you. Provides
Thank you. Hello everyone. Good morning. I am Kholilah Widya with my friend Laila Dia Pitaloka. We are students from the Sultan Ageng Tirta-Yasa University. We will present the results of our literature review entitled Utilizations of Technology as a Creative Learning Media and Innovative in the Millennial Generation in the New Normal Era, a literature study.
Okay, excuse me, Kholilah, please present not more than 8 minutes. Yeah, your time no more than 10 minutes. Sorry, 8 minutes. Please continue.
Yes, thank you. Previously, I gave permission to the moderator. Here I will present a presentation with my friend Laila Dia Pitaloka. Baik, di sini saya akan mempresentasikan mengenai pemanfaatan teknologi sebagai media pembelajaran kreatif dan inovatif pada generasi milenial di era new normal. Kajian ini merupakan sebuah kajian literatur. Next. Baik, di sini abstrak bahwa penelitian ini merupakan sebuah kajian literatur. Penelitian ini bertujuan untuk mengkaji tentang pemanfaatan teknologi sebagai media pembelajaran kreatif dan inovatif pada generasi milenial di era new normal. Penulis menggunakan metodologi penelitian kualitatif dan data yang digunakan berasal dari studi literatur yang relevan seperti buku, jurnal, skripsi, website yang dapat dipertanggungjawabkan kebenaran datanya. Objek penelitian ini adalah generasi milenial. Hasil penelitian ini menunjukkan bahwa dalam pemanfaatan teknologi sebagai media pembelajaran kreatif dan inovatif pada generasi milenial di era new normal menjadi hal yang sangat penting dalam proses belajar mengajar agar dapat memudahkan pendidik untuk berkomunikasi dan berinteraksi dengan peserta didik di dalam dan di luar kelas. Kebutuhan akan teknologi dalam pendidikan bukanlah hal yang baru. Pemanfaatan teknologi di era new normal ini bertujuan untuk mengembangkan peserta didik yang cakap dan kreatif. Baik, latar belakangnya ini ada salah satu problem yang terjadi pada Indonesia saat ini adalah ketika pandemi COVID-19 menyebar di seluruh belahan dunia termasuk Indonesia, bahwa seluruh aktivitas yang kita lakukan terbatas demi mencegah penyebaran virus corona yang ada di setiap negara, termasuk Indonesia. Maka dengan adanya COVID-19 ini, pemerintah memutuskan untuk melakukan pekerjaan serta belajar dari rumah. Kebijakan proses belajar mengajar yang telah dibuat oleh pemerintah mempunyai akibat tersendiri, sebab pembelajaran yang biasanya dilakukan dalam bertatap muka di dalam ruangan dengan dilengkapi berbagai fasilitas, sekarang dialihkan dengan jarak dan melalui media teknologi pembelajaran. Teknologi di masa COVID-19 ini memberikan jalan alternatif dalam proses belajar mengajar dengan melakukan pemanfaatan media pembelajaran untuk mempermudah pendidik dalam melakukan proses belajar mengajar. Semakin berkembangnya teknologi komunikasi dan informasi, pembelajaran online, pemanfaatan berbagai aplikasi guna menunjang proses pembelajaran dengan menggunakan platform seperti e-learning, Google Classroom, Zoom, dan Google Meet. Pembelajaran online ini menjawab tantangan akan ketersediaan sumber belajar yang variatif. Keberhasilan dari suatu model ataupun media pembelajaran tergantung dari karakteristik peserta didik dalam menerima manfaat dari perkembangan teknologi ini. Baik, akan disambung oleh teman saya yaitu Laila Dia Pitaloka. Silakan.
Baik, terima kasih. Mungkin slide selanjutnya. Di sini terdapat metode dan result atau hasil. Metode ini penulis menggunakan metodologi penelitian kualitatif dan data yang digunakan berasal dari studi literatur yang relevan seperti buku, jurnal, skripsi, serta website yang dapat dipertanggungjawabkan kebenaran datanya. Objek penelitian ini adalah generasi milenial. Selanjutnya, yaitu hasil atau result. Hasil penelitian ini menunjukkan bahwa dalam pemanfaatan teknologi sebagai media pembelajaran kreatif dan inovatif pada generasi milenial di era new normal menjadi hal yang sangat penting dalam proses belajar mengajar agar dapat memudahkan pendidik untuk berkomunikasi dan berinteraksi dengan peserta didik di dalam dan di luar kelas. Kebutuhan akan teknologi dalam pendidikan bukanlah hal baru. Pemanfaatan teknologi di era new normal ini bertujuan untuk mengembangkan peserta didik yang cakap dan kreatif. Selanjutnya. Slide selanjutnya.
Next slide, please. Host, move to the next slide. Okay. Yeah. Next slide. Please, host, help presenter to move to the next slide. Yeah, can the presenter see the slide? We have tried to move the slides. Yeah. Okay, please.
Baik, selanjutnya yaitu pembahasan atau discussion pada pemanfaatan teknologi sebagai media pembelajaran guna menjadi alat bantu dalam proses belajar mengajar dan menjadi suatu proses penyaluran materi pembelajaran kepada peserta didik agar lebih efektif dan efisien. Pemanfaatan teknologi sebagai media pembelajaran ini membuat proses pembelajaran menjadi lebih menarik dan dapat mempermudah pendidik dalam melakukan proses belajar mengajar. Selanjutnya, dalam melakukan pemanfaatan teknologi sebagai media pembelajaran ini dapat menghasilkan sebuah kreativitas dan inovasi bagi pendidik dan peserta didik dalam proses belajar mengajar guna mencapai sebuah keberhasilan dan proses pembelajaran yang dilakukan dapat menarik perhatian peserta didik sehingga menumbuhkan motivasi. Selanjutnya yaitu menurut hasil penelitian Padma Dewi mengemukakan bahwa dalam melakukan pemanfaatan teknologi ini sebagai media pembelajaran guna mencapai tujuan seperti membuat pesan secara visual sehingga tidak perlu verbal dan dapat mengatasi keterbatasan komunikasi. Dengan pemanfaatan ini dapat mempercepat proses belajar dan mengajar sehingga menimbulkan semangat dalam belajar dan peserta didik dapat belajar secara mandiri sesuai dengan keterampilan dan minatnya melalui pemanfaatan teknologi dalam media pembelajaran ini. Jadi, dalam melakukan pemanfaatan teknologi dalam media pembelajaran ini, salah satunya dapat mempercepat proses belajar mengajar dan juga peserta didik dan pendidik juga dapat memanfaatkan teknologi dalam media pembelajaran ini sehingga dalam melakukan pemanfaatan ini, pendidik dan peserta didik dapat menimbulkan rasa semangat dalam belajar dan proses belajar mengajar dapat berlangsung secara efisien dan efektif. Selanjutnya yaitu dalam pemanfaatan teknologi di era new normal ini memberikan jalan alternatif untuk pendidik dan peserta didik dalam memanfaatkan media pembelajaran agar mempermudah proses belajar dan mengajar tanpa terbatas ruang dan waktu. Di era new normal saat ini, pemanfaatan teknologi sebagai media pembelajaran semakin kreatif dan inovatif dalam menunjang proses pembelajaran agar menjadi lebih menarik dan mempermudah pendidik dan peserta didik tanpa harus bertemu dikarenakan kebijakan pembatasan jarak yang dibuat oleh pemerintah. Selanjutnya, dengan melakukan pemanfaatan teknologi di era new normal ini, peserta didik dapat terbantu dengan adanya media pembelajaran di berbagai platform guna mempermudah pembelajaran serta memanfaatkan teknologi sebagai wadah kreativitas dari perkembangan teknologi saat ini. Tujuan dari pemanfaatan teknologi di era new normal ini yaitu salah satunya dapat tercapai pemanfaatan teknologi melalui media pembelajaran pada proses belajar mengajar sesuai dengan situasi COVID-19 saat ini yang mengharuskan pendidik dan peserta didik menggunakan teknologi sesuai dengan perkembangan yang pesat pada saat ini. Mungkin slide selanjutnya akan dijelaskan oleh teman saya, Holila Widya. Kayaknya dipersilakan.
Terima kasih kepada Lela. Slide. However, the use of technology as creative and innovative learning medium in the current normal era cannot be separated from the obstacles that occur. What are the obstacles and what is the solution? Hal ini hambatan atau kendala dalam proses belajar melalui media pembelajaran. Sebagaimana yang dapat kita lihat bahwa proses pembelajaran daring ini memiliki banyak hambatan, seperti halnya proses komunikasi yang buruk, lalu yang kedua ada gangguan atau jaringan yang tidak stabil, yang ketiga kurangnya kuota dan masih banyak kendala lain. Maka dari itu solusi yang dapat dihadapi,
the more people master vocabulary, the more they can speak, write, read, and as what they wanted. And vocabulary is an important aspect in learning language, especially in learning foreign language. When a learner are learning a new language, they should know enough vocabulary. It is supported by Penny Ewer in 1996 that vocabulary is one of the important things to be taught in learning foreign language because it would be possible to speak without a variety of words. And English vocabulary is different to Indonesian form, including pronunciation and spelling and meaning. The way to pronounce the word is quite different from writing. Therefore, people, especially students who learn English, often find difficulties in learning vocabulary. Even though the teacher had taught the students by some ways, for example, teacher taught students by listening conversation or textbook or using other book related to English subject. But still, students had a problem in mastering vocabulary. Why so? It is because of English is not used in daily communication. We are not using English. We are not using English. So vocabulary mastery of students is still low. And as a result, I conclude that the purpose of this research is to make teaching more efficient and able to be used as a teacher reference in teaching. It is necessary to identify problems in vocabulary mastery, and the main thing is to solve problems as a student and teachers. And the scope of this research is focused on identifying the students' problem of English Education Department at the second semester in mastering the subject of vocabulary. The research will focus on students' vocabulary mastery in speaking, especially in using noun. The indicator of mastering vocabulary are divided into three, such as know the meaning, how to use, and the way to pronounce the vocabulary. Okay, next. Okay, the research method I using a qualitative descriptive and using case study. And for the participant or the informants, for subject is I using lewat yeah. Okay, the subject is from English Education Department, the second semester students of English Education Department at UIN Al-Di Makassar, an academic year 2021. The researcher, I choose 5 students from PBIC 2020, and for time and place, I was using interview, online interview, because as we know that nowadays is a pandemic situation, so we just do interview using WhatsApp application, and it's conducted in a month and from 26 August until 26 September. My instrument is guideline interview. Okay, next. Okay, for my data collection procedure, like I said before, I using interview and 8 questions. It's open-ended questions, and it's divided into 3 categories. Like I said, on an indicator is such a meaning, the use, and the pronunciation. Next. Okay, they just appear. 3 types of questions. It's 3 section. Okay, and my data analysis technique is using matrix from Miles and Huberman 2014. And there are 3 parts. First is data condensation. Second is data display. And the third is conclusion drawing and verification. Next slide. Okay.
Ini mau diganti gitu.
Okay, findings. For my findings, you can see at the screen there are a table of my findings. Next slide, please.
Next slide, yeah, please. Host, help the presenter to move to the next slide. Next slide.
Yeah, okay. Okay, there are the table of the problems. Like I said before, the indicator is the meaning, how to use, and pronunciation. There are 5 students that I choose is with using non-probability sampling techniques. So, so for choosing the subject, I was using non-probability sampling that use implement retrieval technique based on typical cases that are considered to represent the group or phenomenon under study. Some of the student is representing their group, so that's why I choose because they fit the criteria which include problems that are usually faced by students, starting from those who have little problems with vocabulary mastery to those who have a lot of problems regarding vocabulary mastery as well. And then as we can see that some of students is confused in classifying the types, misplaced word, or mispronunciation. Okay, next slide. And next slide, please.
Okay.
Next slide, please.
Yeah. The host have moved to the next slide. The presenter can see.
Oh, okay. Jaringan terlambat. Okay, for discussion, based on the data description, 4 or 5 students were facing the same problem, understanding the meaning of vocabulary. On the other hand, all of the students experienced misplaced word and grammar mistaken. And another problem they faced the students is facing the pronunciation problem. And because of English has many vocabularies that have similar sound one another, it makes students difficult to recognize the words. So it makes students difficult to recognize and produce the vocabulary appropriately. Many students have the same problems about it when they spoke. And for conclusion, based on research, all the students generally had the same problem on mastering vocabulary, especially on noun. They felt difficult to understand the meaning of vocabulary because they were some of them have a similar sound one another. So furthermore, the particular rules and types of noun made the students confused when put them into a sentence while they are speaking. It made them often misplace or got wrong grammar when they spoke. The problem they faced were affected their speaking activity. 4 or 5 students confessed that those problems become obstacle on their speaking ability because it could make them feel insecure, less confidence, trying to end the conversation or change the topic immediately. Because besides, the students assumed that one of the students assumed that we should not think too much about the mistaken when we spoke, because the more important things in communicating to people is that we can understand each other of what we want to convey. So as the suggestion, I suggest to the students to review the lesson and enlarge their knowledge about the vocabulary. And for English teacher, I suggest to be prepared well and must be creative in teaching vocabulary to make their students easy in mastering vocabulary. As we know that in this situation of pandemic, learning at home is getting bored. Maybe some of students getting bored when they are learning at home, learning just virtual on a screen. Maybe I suggest to English teacher to more be variative, to be more creative, to find some teaching method for students, and for all the participants or maybe the next researcher, maybe they can use this as a reference in finding information about identifying students' problem in vocabulary mastery. Okay, maybe that's all for me. Thank you very much for the time. I give it back to moderator. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Soraya Humaira. Okay, next, I would like to invite the last presenters today, Haja Mardiana or Eril Sandi. Assalamualaikum, Eril. Yeah. Assalamualaikum. Yeah, okay, please start to present your article.
Okay, let me share our PPT before.
Okay, for participants who want to ask, please raise your question at the chat box, or you can write your paper and then you can raise your hand at the last of the parallel session today. Okay, please, Eril, time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for the chance was given to me. Peace be to you and Allah's mercy and blessing as well, and peace be to you and Allah's mercy and blessing as well. Our title, Developing Higher Order Thinking Skill Test Instrument for the 10th grade English material in MA Madani Lauddin Papua. Well, I'm the first presenter of this title, and the second is Siti Amina Putri Abdullah. Let we move to the background. Nowadays, the curriculum that is implemented by the government is the 2013 curriculum, or usually we say K13, where the principle of this curriculum is to prepare human research to have the ability to live as individual criticize who are faithful, productive, creative, innovative, and effective produce Indonesian people through the formation and strengthening aspect to attitude, skill, and knowledge that are integrated. Wildana 2017 stated that the result of the research by program National Student Assessment or PISA data in 2015 declared that Indonesia is the bottom 4 of the 43 participated country in the world. Indonesia has low rank in reading literacy, mathematics literacy, and scientific literacy. It is shown by answering the question of the test at the research. This includes that the objective of the education in Indonesia is not relevant to the objective of 2013 curriculum. The government 2017 also mentioned that the students' ability is lack in understanding complex information, understanding theory, and solving problems. So that the government has a new revision of the curriculum 2017. The curriculum has revised by Minister of Education and Culture of Indonesia, which known as 2013 Curriculum Revised Edition. The 2013 curriculum is revised with some completing. The completing such as the implementation on the content of the standard of minimizing the material that are not relevant with this era. Next, the lots, mods, and HOTS. Where lots is lower order thinking skill, which is just remembering. Mods, middle order thinking skill, it's categorized in a C2 is understanding and applying, C2 and C3. And last, it's HOTS, higher order thinking skill, which is conclude that the C4 analyzing, C5 evaluating, and C6 creating. Problem that occur in a school question tend to be more normal testing aspect of memory that lack training in higher order thinking skill students. The ability to think of Indonesian children scientific, it is considered low seen on off the factor questioning. Among the other, because students in Indonesia are less trained to the factor questioning it. And the problem faced by the teacher is the ability of the teacher in developing higher order thinking skill tests, assessment instruments are still lacking and not yet availability of assessment instrument specific design. To train HOTS, so that HOTS assessment instrument need to be developed. The development of thinking skill, high level students will result in students' proficiency in problem solving strategy become good. The level of confidence of students in mathematics increase, and students' learning achievement on non-routine problem which require harder order thinking skill to increase. The student need to increase their thinking skill by giving the instrument of test based on the HOTS concept 2013 curriculum. From the explanation previously, the research considered to conduct the research about design the instrument test based on the English material, which is applied HOTS concept. Based on the background before, there are three main problem of this research. The first is how is the existing test instrument provided for English reading skill at the famous material, the 10th grade in MA Madani Alauddin Paupao. The second is how to develop test instrument for English reading skill at we're famous material in 10th grade in MA Madani Alauddin Paupao. And the last is what is the level of validity and reliability of the HOTS test instrument for reading skill at were they famous material at the 10th grade in MA Madani Alauddin Paupao. Next is the research method. In this research, the researcher use research and development, or usually we say R&D method. R&D is defined as a research design that involves the classroom problems. Student research theory of educational product development, developing the educational product
So I would like to on the chat box addressed to Bunga Safira or Nahda. Does pattern also accommodate formula and maths calculation? Okay, Nahda or Bunga Safira, have you joined this room? Assalamualaikum.
Yeah, ma'am. Sorry for.
Okay, please continue.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Next is a research methodology. It consists a number of steps commonly refers to the R&D cycle, which involves well, the research and development, the researcher used the Plum model as one of the models. The stage of developing the Plum models using the approach system that is oriented to the needs and direction of its developing activities aim to produce an accurate model. Based on the step, an instrument test will be produced based on the HOTS concept in English learning for 10th grade MA Madani Alauddin Paupao on the material both you and I. The Plum model development model was chosen because this model is more flexible because each step includes customizable development activities with the characteristic of the research. The Plum model is considered more flexible than other model because at each step is contained development activities that can be adapted to the characteristic of the research. For example, the initial investigation step can include preliminary research. This preliminary research can also be in the form of preliminary research whose results are used as a basic for further development. In this case, the research design in a research and development design. Well, the aim of this research is produce a product we namely Bank Soal. So there are 100 multiple choice and 50 essay instrument tests. Well, the next slide will be presented by Siti Aminah.
Well, thank you for the chance session. There are three main points of the finding and discussion. The first is about the existing of test instrument. In the existing, there are three. There are the document analysis, the syllabus, lesson plan, and textbook. And the second is about the interview analysis, and the third is the teacher's test item analysis. The second is development of hard test instrument. We use PLUM model, so there are 5 tests. The first test is about the investigation test. The investigation test, we mention it as the preliminary investigation test. The first step is to conduct the research to identify the fundamental issue that will be addressed in the development of test instrument. And the next is about the design test. In design test, the activities in attempt to create solution to problem highlight in the first stage. In this phase, the design and systematic of learning device, there are 3. There are the collecting, organizing, and creating. The third is about the realization or construction phase. At this step, a prototype, namely the primary design based on the initial concept, is created. And the fourth is about the test, evaluation, and revision test. This stage is concerned with the quality of the design that will be created and make judgment after deep reflection as well. The process of gathering, processing, and evaluating information in a systematic manner is referred to as the evaluation. This is done to evaluate the quality of the chosen solution. And the last is about the implementation phase. After going through the assessment procedure, the solution had been achieved. At this point, the solution is seen to be appropriate for the situation at hand. As a result, the solution chosen may be implemented and used in a real-world circumstances. And then, the next slide. There are 6. The teacher's test items should be analyzed by us, but it according to the top process dimension by Alderson. There are lots. It's about the C1 remembering, and the mods level. There are C2 are understanding, and C3 applying. HOTS, C4 analyzing, C5 evaluating, and C6 creating. The first test item can be classified into low level because this concept just apply remember skill, and then the second, the third, and the fourth also use the low level because they were use the remembering skill also. And then for the fifth and the sixth question, they use mod level because they use applying skill or C3. The next slide is about the test item have been created by us. This is our product. Actually, there are 15 multiple choice and 100 multiple choice and 50 essay. After the product it was created, we got the revision from our experts. There are Ma'am Indah Mistawalia and Anissa Sofa Suraya. This is the revision from them. The question of narration should be more clear. The question of narration should use what, when, and who. Use a diagram, picture, and etc. The picture had used proper to modern view. And the second is about put in a sharp each passage and attach the picture of the biography. Pay attention to the use of punctuation. Pay attention for grammatical rules and use hard vocabulary such as create and analyze. And the last main point is about the level of validity and reliability. The expert validity. The result of validation by expert was developed in this study. It is a score of 347, which is very valid category based on the criteria. And the second is empirical validity. The result of empirical validity, the analysis of the empirical validity of hard items that had been developed can be seen from the test of validity. We use a statistical product and service or SPSS program. And the last is reliability analysis. The level of reliability can be calculated by using SPSS also. Meanwhile, the tool that was used to get the reliability in this research by using Alpha Cambridge. This is SPSS program. Okay, that's from us. Thank you very much.
Okay, sorry. Thank you, Eril Sandi and Siti Aminah who has presented their article. Now let's to the last presenters today, Lina Kusidayati and Muhammad Rashid. Assalamualaikum, Pak Muhammad Rashid. Assalamualaikum, Ibu Lina Kusidayati. Okay, while waiting for Ibu Lina or Pak Muhammad Rashid, I would like to read the question at the chat box. A question from Ibu Isna addressed to Bunga Safira. Does pattern also accommodate formulas and math calculation? Assalamualaikum, Ibu Bunga Safira.
Iya.
Okay.
Waalaikumsalam.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. From my Okay. From my experience using the Powtoon application, I don't know whether Powtoon can do calculator math or not because before I never make the calculator math with the application Powtoon. But what I know for sure is that Powtoon can make animated videos and interesting writing formats. But I don't know if Powtoon can make calculator math or not. Thank you.
Thank you, Bunga Safira. And for Ibu Isna, according to Bunga Safira, she doesn't sure about pattern can be applied to math or others, but actually pattern can also used to make animated video. Okay, thank you. And for the participant who want to ask, please raise your hand or you can write your question to the chat box. There are five presenters today, and you can address questions to the presenters. Okay, please raise your hand. Okay, Fahril Rifaah. Please, I invite Fahril Rifaah to address question. Time is yours. Okay, unmute your.
Well, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much for giving me this chance. Well,
Okay.
my question also addressed to Miss Bunga Safira and Nahda. First,
Okay.
your presentation was amazing. Thank you so much for telling us this website. Thank you so much. For me, as future educator, creating a creative learning material is a must. And to get a good facilitation, sometimes we need to
Udah
pay.
jawab ini.
My
Yeah.
question is this paid website or not? Thank you.
Okay. Please, Bunga Safira, answer directly the question.
Apakah ini website berbayar atau tidak? Terima kasih.
Okay, is the application free or free of charge? Or
Okay, thank you for your question. Aku jawab pakai bahasa Indonesia ya, maaf sebelumnya.
please.
Oke, kalau aplikasi Pautun ini sebenarnya berbayar untuk bisa kita download, untuk bisa kita save. Tapi kita bisa bisa mengakali biar kita bisa nge-save Pautun ini tanpa berbayar, yaitu dengan mengupload dulu ke YouTube, terus dari YouTube baru kita save sendiri, seperti itu.
That's a good answer from Bunga Safira. Okay, I think because it has been it has been 12:30. So I would like to say thanks very much for all of the presenters today, all of the participants for the contribution to this international conference. Thank you and see you next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, before leave the room, let's take a picture together, please. Okay, host, could you have to give your smile, sweet smile. Okay, thank you.